You know, with everything that's going on in the United States and the chaos that's been happening around the major cities, I don't know how in the world this was completely missed by the news. I mean, this is over this so Washington Post reported this about a week ago, like over a week ago on the 14th of August. Yeah, hold on, I just want to make sure. August 14th. I didn't hear this until the other day. Like 2 days ago, I heard about what happened in Iowa with a land hurricane that had destroyed thousands of crops, and nobody talked about it. At least for me, maybe some other people found out about it, but I cannot believe that this is not a bigger news story because apparently Iowa is number one for corn, another one for bean, another one for number one for pig and chicken, I think. Like Iowa is where a lot of our produce and a lot of other things are made and manufactured and then sent throughout the United States. And apparently 50% of it was lost in a land hurricane. Hold on, let me say that again. A land hurricane. Apparently multiple storms coming together, creating a land hurricane, creating gusts of wind over 80 miles an hour, destroying thousands of crop and barely anything. Barely anything. Hold on, I want to make sure. Let me look at my calendar real quick. The 14th. So not last Friday, but the Friday after, that was when this news story was reported. How did I not hear anything about last week? This is a major news story that I don't know how in the world people don't know about it. I'm going to tell you this right now, with the amount of chaos that was happening with the COVID-19 and the lockdowns and people not being able to find certain supplies and whatnot. If something happens in the United States that's a catastrophe, that's something like another lockdown or something like that, to where we need to feed people and we're having difficulty, and nobody knows about this, and nobody knows exactly what happened in Iowa, and they have no idea that a lot of crops and other materials have been destroyed. We have a major incident on our hands, and I cannot believe this is not. I get it. It's not BLM. It's not the riots. It's not exciting news, apparently. I don't get it. I really don't. So we're going to talk about this today. But yeah, apparently a level 2 hurricane happened in Iowa, destroying multiple thousands of homes, multi-million dollars worth of damages, and the amount of crops that were lost is terrifying. Is completely scary. So Monday. So apparently this. Hold on. Let me get this straight. Just want to make sure. The new article was reported on the 14th. This is saying it happened on the 10th, Monday. On Monday, I was leveled by the amount of a level 2 hurricane. The 10th. That wasn't reported to Washington Post until the 14th. And now it was until 2 days ago that I heard about it. Shows you what the priority is in this country right now when it comes to letting people know about, crazy things that are happening and stuff that people should know that should concern them, and a lot more detail and a lot more should be put out for certain things. So that's fantastic. While the storm did garner some coverage, most via wire stories, its impact remains unreported days later. The dispatches focused on crop damage and electrical outages have been shouted down by the coverage. VP takes the fate of college football. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Fantastic, though. Yep, I remember that new Cardi B song. Yep, I know Ben Shapiro was doing something on that. Got more attention than Iowa's left without power or food. Oh my. We were so concerned, and don't get me wrong, the new WAP or whatever, I know is kind of a gross song. I mean, to me, it's just gross. It's fantastic. It got a lot more attention than Iowa did. That's awesome. Again, it shows you exactly where our news media is focused on. So Iowa's last disaster, breathlessly covered by the media, was a caucus After that, everyone moved out. The death coverage means we're struggling here and no one knows. Oh my God. So this news, this lady Beth, it says this isn't just a few trees down. It's powers are out. It's like a tornado hit whole counties. Gusts of 112-mile-an-hour winds were recorded in Lynn County. Billboards bent in half, whole buildings collapsed, trees smashed to the roofs, windows. Scope and breadth of disaster is still being calculated, but some estimated more than 10 million acres, or 43% of the state's soybean and corn crops, have been destroyed. They are number one producer in corn. They're the number one producer in soybean. You need corn. Corn's in a lot of things if you guys don't know. But apparently it wasn't good enough to inform the public about any of this is actually happening. Even in this report, it says it took days later to actually report on it. And, I mean, I don't know. It happened on the 10th. Today's the 25th. Do we even still know? Does anybody know the extent of the damage? Anything? I know. Apparently the National Guard's been called out to Iowa to help. But, I mean, this is 9 days old now. Or 11 days old now. In Lynn County, where the reporter lived, 79% of people are without power. 250,000 Iowans are still without power. Cell phone service is spotty. Few gas station, grocery stores with power only take cash. Good luck getting cash from a bank, which is mostly likely closed. There is so much, not only with businesses being closed, and I don't know exactly how Iowa is doing when it comes to businesses being closed or open with COVID-19. Hopefully businesses are open. God, I mean, good heavens. I know at least, Kansas City, Missouri and Kansas and a lot of the places, Nebraska, a lot of businesses are open. You just wear a face mask and whatnot. Hopefully Iowa is that way where places are open up. But I imagine this does not help out whatsoever with businesses being closed because of COVID, and now all of a sudden when you're starting to reopen up everything and try to get back on your feet, now all the crops have been destroyed, or close to half. It's man, it's crazy to know. Local news already gutted by years of downsizing and cutbacks, stretched the line by pandemic coverage, are scrambling, barely able to get out updates. We have been so focused on one thing with COVID-19, we don't have the strength to cover another thing. Something that is affecting people and could affect the United States if something disastrous happens. It just drives me crazy. It really does. The simple fact that it took me so long to figure out that this is actually happening, the simple fact for the Washington Post to report it several days later, where people were so, I mean, look, they're interested in making money. They're going to go towards whatever news story draws in the most clicks, draws in the most crowd to actually see exactly what's going to be happening. But it's scary to know that people I know are struggling in Iowa and not a clue. Not a clue. You would have no idea that something happened in Iowa because nobody talked about it. Nobody. So that's fantastic. For everybody in Iowa, if you can, let me know in the comments below. I mean, if you're from Iowa, let me know how you're doing. How's everything going on in there? Because it seems like nobody from the news media is actually talking about it. And I don't even know if we haven't gotten a story yet of anything past the 14th. At least I haven't seen anything of where somebody's reporting on, hey, the recovery and how the recovery efforts are going, and how are things going now after a land hurricane has hit in the United States in Iowa. So that's it. That's all I have to say. It's just stupid to know that with something like this, I don't even know if you guys knew. I didn't know. I have no idea if you guys have a clue. People in Iowa know. They're involved in it. People still probably without power. Crops are still damaged, and you have no idea. And they have to rebuild from that. but how many people are just like me that had no idea that this was happening? I bet a lot. I really do. I bet a lot of people just like me had not a clue this was happening. So let me know in the comments below. If you're from Iowa, let me know how you're doing. Let me know what the situation is. Let me know what you guys think about a natural disaster that happened in Iowa that destroyed close to half the crops there that Iowa is known for being #1 in developing and producing and pushing out to the United States, and apparently was not good enough to be on the national news and be pushed out as some great concern. So see you guys. Have a great rest of the day.